So it is week 2, 16 weeks of the marathon build, and today's Tuesday. It's interval day. I've left this workout to the last thing today. I wasn't going to do it this morning, and I didn't plan on doing it during the day because I really didn't want to do it on a treadmill, and I really wanted to get to a track. So here we are, local Deakin University running track. And today's workout from runner is a 1 kilometre warm up, then it's 3 1 kilometre repeats at a 4:15 pace. So if we could bring that pace in very nicely to be good, and then a 1k cool down. So it's really only 5k in total, which I'm fine with. Saturday's long run hurt my body a little bit, just my first intense session in probably 3 months, and trying to get used to that again. Vaporflies is what we're wearing, Vaporfly 3. I ran half marathon in this, and I would say that the pace I ran that half marathon, don't need carbon plated shoes. Probably, in my opinion, if you run over a 5-minute kilometre, it's probably not effective. You probably should look at comfort, not these overall, and I probably felt that. I'm a much better runner now, and I certainly run faster than that, but that was just where I was at last year, being new to running, or at least training for running. So yeah, goal's 4-minute 15 kilometre pace. Can we do it? I think we can. I don't feel like a 10 out of 10 right now. I probably don't feel great. This will be my first track workout with the Garmin Forerunner 965. I'm actually quite excited about that. What I'm not excited about is that I need to do a wee, and I don't think there's a toilet around here, so yeah, too much information. Bit of crew over there running. Track workout done. Gave myself an 8 out of 10 on how hard it was. It felt hard. I don't really work out at night. I don't run at night. But I don't know that I was really up for that. Hardest session that I've done since I've come back, or at least the fastest, so I'm not concerned. And then, hit a 189 on my heart rate, so that says something.
Welcome to Couch Time. This is just going to be an opportunity of every episode where we'll summarise what happened in the week, cover latest updates, weekly mileage, how I think it went, how we're managing this entire process, things like having a young family, busy work life, trying to train with this marathon, and everything else that falls into my life as well. Things like volunteering commitments, church commitments, a lot of things that are important to not just me, but our family, and finding ways to balance, compromise, remain disciplined, prioritize, how we're managing to do those things. But want to use an opportunity in every single one of our episodes here, Couch Time, where we can just chill out, hang out together, talk about these things, unpack what the week looked like very briefly, and also raises some topics that I want to talk about as part of my training, what I'm learning about, what I'm incorporating with my training, whether it's to do with accessories, shoes, structure, types of sessions, supplements, all things that I want to introduce as a topic of what I'm learning to be able to pass on as education to others, and perhaps even be corrected by anyone who wants to watch the videos and finding a better way of doing things that might be able to help me. I would love that. That would be incredible. It'd save me a lot of time and learning from mistakes. And that's, I suppose, what I want to introduce are the mistakes I'm making, how I'm learning from them, and how they might be able to help other people, particularly young dads. I feel like that's the person that I can help the most, whether it's the young business person, young dad who doesn't realize what they're capable of if they can reorder their priorities. And I haven't changed the priority of my work life, the priority of my family life, but I've learned how to prioritize my health, running and training, something that's new in my life, something that I wish I'd learned 10 years earlier, not at the age of 29, basically. So being week 2, let's summarize. Let's have a look at what this looked like. It's the week of the 30th of June to the 6th of July, and I covered 41 kilometres. Nice build in comparison to the first week, where in week 1 we had 37 kilometres, a little bit more. So what that looked like was on Monday we had the 7 kilometres easy. On Tuesday we had an interval session. On Thursday I had 5k, I call it recovery run. Friday 9k easy run. And then Saturday we had 15k long run, which was all easy mileage. There was no faster paces or working effort in that. It was just aerobic work. So one that I want to have a look at in terms of the session is the Tuesday interval workout. That's always going to be a key. So what this session looked like was a warm-up, and then we'll find the details of it. So what this session looked like on the Tuesday intervals, 1k repeats, we were looking at a 1 kilometre warm-up, 90 seconds walking rest. Then we were looking at 3 reps of 1 kilometre. That was anywhere between 4:05 and 4:25 minute kilometre pace, with 90 seconds walking rest after each rep, and then a 1 kilometre cool down. So how did that go? I would say quite well. For my paces, 3 reps, I hit 4:13, 4:13, and 4:13. So I suppose I'm quite happy about that, remaining consistent, and that's the goal. For this workout, I wore the Nike Vaporfly 3, good carbon plate, allows me to run fast, keep the legs fresh. It's great, and I'm happy with it. So in total, we're at the beginning of this process, looking at week 2 of 16 weeks in total. And I suppose that's where I want to introduce the topic of this week's couch time, in terms of what I'm thinking about, what I want to introduce to anyone that might be learning and watching this, is the way that I'm structuring my program. Having such a busy work life, I would love to be somehow managing to run at least 70 kilometre weeks for every working week that I've got, apart from, say, like a deload week. But that's just not manageable. One, I'm not conditioned for that. I haven't had that kind of training. My past is a lot of sport as a young boy, primary school, high school, which included football, basketball, a little bit of track and field, but it definitely didn't include long distance. And I wouldn't say it incorporated any type of endurance. I just did lots of sports, and I did play some of those sports at quite a high level, but I wouldn't have said that I was aerobically fit or endurance fit, so to speak. But having picked this up, I probably haven't had any type of endurance sport since I left high school at 18. And then now, probably around 27, picking up running, starting this program just at 28, turning 29 now. There's a lot that I've probably lost in terms of fitness, muscle over a 10-year window. And now it's just trying to understand what's actually going to work for me. And I think I've learned a lot about that over the last 12 to 18 months about what works for me. Probably more so over the last 6 months when I've tried to incorporate specific structure into my running. And that's included speed sessions and long runs and easy runs all in between it. For me, the principle will be with the structure, keeping the hard days hard and the easy days easy. It's always going to look like that. But what I've experimented with in the last 6 months is trying to look at 3 key sessions a week and trying to get faster and fitter, trying to work this through, because when you have 3 key sessions, you've got to recover from 3 key sessions. And I'm learning a lot about this in the middle of my program as well, that I have not adapted to those sessions. I have not improved. I have not recovered appropriately. And probably most importantly, all these things combined, I haven't been consistent in that. And what I need from my training heading into an event where I'm racing it for the first time is that I need consistency week upon week, month upon month, block upon block. I do not have previous marathon training, half marathon training, 10K, 5K training whatsoever. I am just the leisurely runner who has picked this up and does want to carry it forward, learning what my body is capable of and having fun doing it. And I certainly am doing those things. So what the structure is going to look like for me, and this is what I have done in the Runner app as well, making sure it's laid out this program for me, is that I know I can consistently run 5 times a week. In terms of recovery, I think I do need those 2 rest days. They're not just to recover from hard sessions. It's just the fact that I need compromises. I can't just get out of in a morning, in the day, or of an evening to run every single day. But if I miss days, I can make them up on other days. I can make 5 runs in a week. And I know that having 1 speed session and 1 long run, so 2 key workouts every single week, works for me, because 3 key workouts doesn't. I don't recover properly. I'm sore. I'm not fresh heading into my next key session once I finish my previous one. So it's a much better approach for me personally, managing my work life, my family life, how much sleep I'm actually getting into only 2 key sessions per week. And that's going to be the plan moving forward. So it's hopefully going to look like Monday, easy run. And when I say easy, I truly mean like a 2 or 3 out of 10. It's not 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. My heart rate is staying well under 150, ideally under 145 beats per minute. Then Tuesday is going to be my hard session, my fastest session. Wednesday is going to be a day off. That's just going to be my rest day. Take a break from it all. Thursday, call it a recovery run. It's probably going to be a little bit slower than my easy pace. Just taking it easy, and it's going to be fewer kilometers on that run, the way that I've structured it. Friday, another easy run, getting to pick up that pace a little bit, trying to maintain a similar effort, but I should be fresher than the Thursday of the day before, and getting myself ready for the Saturday long run. And then on Sunday, having another rest day. Ideally, if I'm going to introduce another run somewhere to have 6 runs a week, it would be on the Sunday after the long run. Now, that's going to be totally dependent on how I feel amongst some of these really long runs that are going to get to 34 kilometers in the longest run of this training program. In a week that's over 70 kilometers being run that week, I don't know if I'm going to be adding an additional run. If I am, it's certainly going to be recovery, like much easier and slower than my easy pace. And there's not going to be too many kilometers on it. If it's going to be 5 kilometers. And the purpose, it's not just to add mileage for the sake of it, because you don't want to go backwards. I don't want to damage my body. It's all about moving forwards. So as long as it's promoting recovery, I'm happy to introduce it. But perhaps it's going to be better to recover on those days. These are things that we'll look at together, and I'll share as part of summarizing in our couch time here, figuring out what we're going to do. But yeah, I'm very excited to get stuck into this program. So 2 weeks out of 16 are done. We've hit 41 kilometers for the week. We are still, as a family, carrying a bit of sickness. So recovery and sleep are certainly being promoted. I'm just going to try and hold on to that one thing, which is consistency. And I'm going to rely on consistency to get me through this program. And when we're not sick, to be able to push it a bit further and try and hit my goals. So very excited about it. Very pumped about what this program looks like long term. Hopefully I can remain motivated. I'm optimistic. I suppose throughout this, once I get to about 8 weeks left, so 8 weeks in and 8 weeks left, probably going to have an idea of what kind of pace I'm aiming for the marathon. Long term, sub 3 is going to be what I'd like to do. But I know that where I'm at right now, holding a 4 minute, 15 minute per kilometre pace is not really within my realm. that's pushing it for me. I struggle at that pace. Perhaps I'll get it in the future. But as part of the process, some little goals that I do want to hit on the way here to the marathon is I do want to get a sub 20-minute 5K. And I think I should be capable of achieving that if all things go well with the compounding impact of my training, my interval training, my aerobic training, pushing everything forward. It's all about the little things that I'm going to do along the way with my recovery, my rest, my nutrition. Sure, my running shoes might help that with a little bit. All things that I'm excited and looking forward to sharing, learning about, and getting stuck into in this program. So that's this week for Couch Time. We'll see you in the next episode. I suppose for next week, week 3, we are going to be looking at a little bit more mileage. I suppose the one thing that I didn't share about the way the program would work is that it would be split up into 4 blocks. I'm going to be looking at 3 working weeks and then a deload week on the 4th week in 4 blocks. So 4 by 4 takes us to 16 weeks. And I've opted for a 16-week program because this is my first marathon without a heap of foundation in running. So I wanted to do as much as possible to try and bridge that gap and build slowly and consistently into this marathon. But heading into week 3 is going to be very exciting as we're going to head into a 47-kilometer week where on the Saturday, the long run, we are going to be hitting some faster paces in that long run for 7.5 kilometers in a total 17-kilometer block. So very exciting. Want you to follow along if you want to find out how I'm managing all of this, being a father of a young family, making sure I'm committing to this as fully as I can without compromising the other areas of my life. And I encourage you to do the same, that if there's anything that you want to pursue in your health and fitness without the compromises of not falling short in prioritizing things like family, perhaps your work and other commitments that are important to you, but knowing how to make time for them. And for me, that's something that I've really enjoyed. So thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to joining you in the next episode.